Straight ahead on CCX News, help wanted. Why some businesses are finding it especially difficult to hire workers. Plus, creativity out of cardboard, the project that brought ingenuity to a Brooklyn Park school. And art in Maple Grove that could give you the creeps. CCX News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Employers in nearly every industry are realizing good help is hard to find.
And that's especially true in Minnesota. As Delane Cleveland reports, state labor experts say it's the tightest job market they've seen in years.
In an area formerly occupied by parking spaces, construction crews are hard at work building Minnesota's second Portillo's restaurant.
Portillo's is coming to town fairly soon. We're looking to open sometime in January, right after the holidays.
At the moment, Minnesotans can only find the popular hot dog chain in Woodbury. But before the Maple Grove location opens, the company still has some work to do.
We're looking for 165 employees, hiring for guest service, production, crew chiefs, a lot of different opportunities here.
To accomplish that task, Portillo's has set up a hiring center in Maple Grove on the site of an old Don Pablo's restaurant.
As of right now, we're doing open interviews Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 7. You can either call ahead and schedule an interview. Otherwise, you can walk on in and we have tablets for you to fill out an application.
However, Portillo's is far from the only business looking for employees. A quick glance around Maple Grove found an abundance of help wanted signs.
At this point, we have more job vacancies than we have unemployed people in Minnesota.
State Department of Employment and Economic Development officials say this is the tightest job market Minnesota has seen since 2001.
Retirements are really picking up with the aging population. Baby boomers are beginning to leave the workforce. The group coming in is a little bit smaller, so we're having this compression in our workforce right now.
That compression is especially felt in lower wage, lower skilled occupations, which includes the food service industry. It's a fact not lost on Portillo's as they work to find 165 employees in Maple Grove.
It's going to be quite a bit of a challenge, but Portillo's is always up for a challenge. And we're hoping, because of what a great company we are and people starting to see that, it'll come trickling in even faster.
In Maple Grove, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
Officials from DEED say employers could find success by filling their vacancies by offering full-time hours and regular schedules that fit with family life.
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and an advocate from Cornerstone in Brooklyn Center reminds us how serious and widespread the problem is.
This particular issue takes people out of our lives forever, and it affects our youth in schools, and it impacts the workplace. It impacts all of us.
According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, 1 in 4 people are victims of domestic abuse, and 72% of all murder-suicides involve an intimate partner. Cornerstone counselors say there are many reasons why victims are afraid to leave the person that's causing harm.
I think just fear of physical harm or fear of physical harm for people you care about. I think there's also isolation that is to be considered. Many times people who are experiencing this feel very isolated and feel that they may not have the resources to give their children food and clothing and housing.
Cornerstone works to end domestic abuse by offering legal assistance and also emergency shelter.
2 local school districts have started the search for new superintendents. Osseo's Kate McGuire and Brooklyn Center's Mark Bonine both announced that they would be leaving at the end of the school year. And the Brooklyn Center School Board held a listening session this week to collect input on the hiring process there. In a statement, the board said it wants to choose a leader that will carry on the district's vision and strategic plan.
I don't know how many qualified candidates we have in our district internally, but any hiring process has got to have more than a couple of candidates to have integrity, I feel strongly.
We need to have someone that can rally the troops. Okay, we need a visionary that people are going to follow.
The Brooklyn Center District will send out postcards inviting more public input. There's also a survey on the district's website. In the Osseo district, officials are gathering input from other school districts that have recently gone through the hiring process with the goal of looking for search firms. 4 work sessions are planned over the next 2 months to discuss their superintendent search.
The first pick for a potential lieutenant governor is a local lawmaker. DFL State Representative Peggy Flanagan has been picked to join the Tim Walz ticket for governor. Flanagan represents parts of Plymouth, Golden Valley, and St. Louis Park. More than 14 candidates are in the running to replace Governor Mark Dayton when he leaves office in 2019.
Crystal is working to preserve the city's history, and that tops our look inside City Hall. A citizens outreach task force is working to set up a historical society that would operate independently.
We really want to get people together to start documenting the history of Crystal and specifically reaching out to the older members of the community and recording their stories, recording some of the information that they have.
Councilmember Elizabeth Dahl says you can contact her via her city email if you are interested in helping. When it comes to the budget, Crystal is working toward eliminating special assessments on large projects like street reconstruction. The idea is to become a more pay-as-you-go city to save on interest expenses. So next year's proposed budget includes a more than 6% spending increase. That includes an 11% increase for police. The proposed tax increase would be $32 a year on a median valued home of $180,000. Public input is scheduled November 5th.
The Robbinsdale Community Gym and Fitness Center is upgraded and ready to reopen its doors. There's brand new gym equipment, including cardio machines and free weights. There's new workout gear that it didn't have before. The makeover is largely paid for through a $75,000 Hennepin County Youth Sports Grant. The city and the Robbinsdale School District also kicked in some money. Officials say it's nice to have an upgraded facility that residents and students can both use.
Oh, I'm super excited. We've been talking about this probably for the last 5 years to upgrade the facility. I know the school district wanted to do it as well. So once we got the grant, it was just a good time just to do everything.
The gym also has upgraded basketball courts, and doors are expected to reopen on Monday.
And if you have a bike you no longer use, you can donate it Saturday for a great cause.
Adaptive bikes can be very expensive, and this sort of equipment is not covered by insurance.
Adaptive bikes are wanted, and gently used bikes and adult bikes for kids and adults, that is, are needed too. Each year, New Hope-based Free Bikes for Kids teams up with Allina Health to collect thousands of bikes for kids in need. This is video from a previous year. There's also a need for volunteers to get all those bikes ready.
We just like to bring people in. Any skill set is useful for us. We clean the bikes, we move the bikes, we fix the bikes, we shine them up and get them ready for distribution. Anyone who volunteers with us can come to a giveaway and actually give a bike away, which is the best part of being part of this organization.
There are more than 40 locations where you can donate a bike on Saturday, including at Courage Kenny Institute in Golden Valley. For a list of drop-off sites and how to get involved, visit fb4k.org, fb4k.org. Still ahead, art in Maple Grove that is strange looking, or you could say just plain creepy.
Plus highlights from a big night of soccer as the regular season winds down. That's later in sports.
But first, the skies brighten this weekend. Sunday looking especially nice. Well, if you're spooked by the chill of fall in the air but don't mind Halloween, the Maple Grove Art Center has just the show for you.
In Weekend Showcase, Neil Persley explains how it helps feed your penchant for poltergeists.
We have our monster show on at the moment, which is full of wonderful, frightful, sinister art from local artists.
The monster show at Maple Grove Art Center features lots of creepy pieces, but it's also the setting this year for the center's annual fundraiser.
It's our masquerade gala. So we're having the two amalgamated in one. It's $5 to come in and we'll have wine and appetizers. We're encouraging people to wear costumes. If they want to wear a mask, that would be great. We'll have a costume contest and prizes. And we will also have a silent auction, so there'll be all sorts of wonderful prizes.
From whimsical to wicked, it's a creepy cavalcade of interesting pieces.
Everyone has a different bent on what is creepy. You know, some people it might just be a strange looking dark face. Some people it's all out monsters.
From acrylic to pencil, mixed media, and everything in between, I'll bet you find something you could get into.
We have a wonderful doll's house here which takes spooky to a whole new level, which is full of all sorts of eerie things going on inside it.
The Masquerade Gala is going to be on Friday night, October 27th at 6:30 p.m. That's the weekend before Halloween. So if you'd like to come out and support the arts in Maple Grove, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. From the Maple Grove Arts Center in Maple Grove, Neil Persley, CCX News. Hey!
If you can make it to the Maple Grove Arts Center's Masquerade Gala, the gallery is open most days and it is free to tour. For details, you can visit maplegroveartscenter.org.
And Neil is still stuck in that house.
He's great. We got to go get him. Got to get help there. Still ahead, Brooklyn Park students take cardboard and turn it into something creative.
But first, Maple Grove tangles with Totino Grace in Northwest Suburban Conference Volleyball. Jay Wilcox is in next with sports.
I'm Jay Wilcox with sports. The Maple Grove volleyball team lost for the first time this season last week, falling to a very good Champlin Park team. The Crimson have restarted a winning streak. Maple Grove at home to face Totino Grace on Thursday. Totino Grace is on the left and white. The Eagles play well early as they get a big block for a point here and a 12-10 lead in set one. They go up 15-10 moments later. But Maple Grove doesn't panic. Outside hitter Skylar Gray has her first attack blocked, but they come right back to her for the kill and a 19-18 Crimson lead. And they don't look back from there. Zoe Brown wins the joust at the net for a Crimson point on this one. They take the opening set 25-20. And Maple Grove is a little smoother in set two. Brown sets to Annika Peeler, and she'll put it away for the Crimson as they roll to a 25-17 victory to go up 2-0. They start fast in the third, too. Brown will set to Gray for a kill as Maple Grove takes the sweep, winning the third set 25-18. Armstrong is also having a good season in volleyball, and they'll meet Maple Grove next Thursday in a match you can see live here on CCX. The Falcons hosting Irondale this Thursday. Set one, Lauren Clark delivers a hit off the blockers for an 8-1 Falcons lead. The Knights work their offense here, but Armstrong sophomore Rachel Eukstead gets the block and point. On set point, Maddie Zanenko chips it over. The Falcons win 25-18. Set two, Falcons freshman Riley Fry pounds it home for a kill for an 8-2 lead. Armstrong works the slide play here for Olivia Hecht, and she puts it down. And on set point, Brenna Meyer gets the kill, and the Falcons win 25-9. In set three, Zanenko sets to Clark, and she hammers it for a 14-3 lead. Then it's a short set for Sophie Vogel. She gets the kill as Armstrong wins the set 25-10 for the sweep. They are 15-4. Maple Grove's girls and boys soccer teams are both having terrific seasons. The Crimson girls were looking to go through the conference part of their schedule without a loss as they hosted a good Andover team on senior night at Maple Grove. Not much for scoring chances for the Crimson in the first half, although Huskies goalkeeper Allie Cole makes a nice save here on the long shot by Meredith Hawkinson. Second half, and Andover's Allie Jenkins threads a pass ahead on her left to Anna Stedland, and her shot will go off the keeper's hands and in. The Huskies have a 2-0 lead. Maple Grove's only goal of the night comes from Mia Omar as she'll convert on a penalty kick, but the Crimson lose 2-1. The Maple Grove boys did close the regular season with a win, beating Andover 5-0. At Champlin Park, the Rebels hosting Elk River in girls soccer. Megan Carlson passes out to Madison Stalpas, who gets past the defender with a burst, then lobs a perfect shot into the back of the Elks net. It's 1-0 Rebels. Later in the first half, a great cross by the Rebels' Amber Nichols to Alex Lotz, who heads it in for her 9th goal of the year, and it's 2-0. Champlin Park adds one more goal before halftime, too. Julia Sullivan puts the ball out front, and Stalpas comes out of nowhere to beat the defender and the goalie to score. And it's 3-0 Rebels at the half. Champlin Park nets 2 more goals in the second half. Carlson knocks it away from the Elks goalkeeper to score here as the Rebels win going away 5-0. They finish the regular season with a 9-5 record. In Northwest Suburban boys soccer, Totino Grace was trying to win a conference championship Thursday night as they came to Park Center to take on the Pirates. First half, it's Grace's number 11, Colin Matzel, with a good crossing pass out front, and Herbert Endeley flies in for the goal. The Eagles lead 1-0 11 minutes in, and that's the score at halftime as well. Second half, and watch for number 10 in white, Austin Peters, come into your screen. He somehow gets a shot off in traffic, and it's into the Eagles' net. And the Pirates tie things up at 1. Grace goes back in front, though. Liam Vance on a corner kick. Goalie Hassan Kamara gets a hand on it, but the loose ball comes to Endeley, who drills it in for his second goal, and the Eagles lead it 2-1. Endeley completes the hat trick later in the match as he scores off a direct free kick. The Eagles beat the Pirates 3-1 to finish a perfect 13-0 in conference play. At Osseo, the Orioles hosting Anoka in Pete Hayes' last regular season game as Tornadoes coach after 30 seasons. Anoka's Ishel Kai passes to Christian Mirabal, and his shot is off the defender and in. The Tornadoes lead it 1-0 at the half. Osseo, though, comes out strong in the second. Prince Massaquoi races through the defense, and he's cutting left, and he shoots back right to inside the goalpost to make it 1-1. Anoka retakes the lead before Osseo strikes again. Anthony on the free kick. Robert Wallity over to David Mendoza-Cato for the shot and goal. The Orioles tie it with 10:14 left. Just over a minute later, they get the game winner as Darius Kawiti weaves through the D and puts a low shot inside the goalpost. Osseo ends the regular season with a 3-2 win. And a reminder of live football tonight, Friday here on CCX as Champlin Park hosts Roseville. Kickoff is scheduled for 7 o'clock. CCX News continues in a moment.
So what do you get when you take a young student, give them cardboard and plenty of creative leeway?
And then try to grab something. Sometimes it's easier if you kind of drag the paper clip in the cardboard box.
This Brooklyn Park 5th grader created a cardboard version of the claw game. It was a hit with classmates who tried to fish out prizes. It's all part of Zanewood Elementary's Cardboard Challenge. For the second year in a row, the school challenged every student in pre-K through 5th grade to come up with a design made primarily out of cardboard. Friday, the school invited the community to come out and see creations like this one.
Well, I thought of making a suit, and then it hit me. I was going to make a robot suit.
These 5th graders teamed up as Robo-Bro number 1 and number 2, as you can see, complete with robotic moves. That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
We'll see you again on Monday.